So now let's look at some past questions so we can see how to apply the concepts that we have learned under the measures of dispersion. So in this first question, we are told that if x is greater than 2, we should find the range of the numbers x minus 3. I'm going to write them out here. X minus 3, 3x plus 2, x minus 1, 4x, 2x minus 1, x minus 2, 2x plus 2, 2x minus 2 rather, 3x, and 3x plus 1. So we are told that if x is greater than 2, we should find the range. So we know that the range is given as what? The highest number minus the lowest number. But how do we figure out the highest number and the lowest number from this set? So one thing we can do, or one quick way to go through this, is to select a value of x, any number of x that is greater than 2. So for this case, I'm going to select my value of x to be equal to 3. So I just say let x is equal to 3. So if I equate x to 3, I can now substitute it into here and see the values that I will get. So in the first case, if x is 3, I have 3 minus 3 and that gives me 0. The second case, if x is 3, I have 3 times 3 which is 9 plus 2 which gives me 11. 3 minus 1 is 2. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6 minus 1 gives me 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 times 2 is 6 minus 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. And 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 gives me 10. So now where is the highest number here? I can see that the highest number here is 12. So this is my highest number, and my lowest number is what? Over here is 0. 0 is the lowest number. So I have here as my lowest number. So what does this tell me? It tells me that my highest number is what? 4x, and the lowest number is what? X minus 3. And you should take note, for any value of x you use that is greater than 2, either 4, 5, 6, 7, you will still get your 4x to give you the greatest result, while your x minus 3 will give you the lowest result. So the value of x you choose does not matter. The only condition is that it must be greater than 2. So now we can proceed. So our range will be equal to our highest value we have figured out to be 4x, and our lowest value we have figured out to be x minus 3. So when you subtract this, you have what? 4x minus x. Minus times minus is plus, gives me plus 3. 4x minus 4 gives me 3x plus 3. So that is the range of the distribution. And what option corresponds to that? Option A. So A is the correct answer. So in this second question, we are told that the mean height and range of the height, this 1.35 all the way down to 1.2, are M and R. So the mean is M and the R is the range. We are now told to find M and 2R. So the first thing we want to do is to find the value of M, and we know that M is the mean. So the mean M, we know that it's what? Summation of x over n. So we have to sum up all these values over here. So we have what? 1.35 plus 1.25 plus 1.35 plus 1.40, very long, right? Plus 1.35 plus 1.45 plus 1.35 plus 1.35 plus 1.50, and finally plus 1.20. all over. How many numbers do we have over here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 numbers. So when you sum up those together, you get 13.55, and when you divide by 10, you get 1.355. So our value of M, which is the mean, is 1.355. How about the value of R, which is the range? We know that the range is just the highest value number minus the lowest number. So what is our highest number here? If you look through, we see that our highest number is 1.5. This is the greatest number over here. So we have 1.50 minus our lowest value here is what? 1.2. So minus 1.20, and that gives me 0.3. So now I know that the value of M is 1.355 and the value of R is 0.3. but this is what the question asked me to find. Question asked me to find m plus 2r. So m plus 2r because the value of m is 1.355 and 2r will be 2 times my value of r is 0.3, and that will be 1.355 plus 0.6, and that gives me what? 1.955. So the value of m plus 2r is 1.955, and what option corresponds to that? You can see that the closest option is option C. So C is the correct answer. So let's move on to the next question, and here we are told to find the mean deviation of 2, 4, 5 and 9. So to recap, we know that our mean deviation is given as what? For this and ungrouped data, so we have summation of what? X minus x bar over n. So we first write out our list of numbers here. So we have what? X, and here we have our what? X minus x bar. So our values of x include 2, 4, 5 and 9. But now we need to find x bar, which is the mean. So we know that the mean is just going to be equals to the sum of all these numbers over the total number there are. So that will be what? 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 9 divided by 4. And what would that give me? That would be 20 over 4, and that is equals to 5. So my mean is 5. So x minus x bar, I have what? Here becomes 2 minus 5, which is equals to minus 3. So 4 minus 5 is equals to minus 1. 5 minus 5 will give me 0. And 9 minus 5 will give me 4. So next, I find my absolute value of x minus x bar. So this becomes minus 3. I just ignore the minus sign. So this becomes plus 3. This becomes 1 plus 1. This becomes 0. And this becomes 4. So what do I do next? I find the sum, as you can see here, summation of all these values here. So 4 plus 3 plus 1 gives me 8. So now I can find my mean deviation. So my mean deviation is equal to the summation of my x minus x bar is 8. And the total number in my distribution is 4. So it's 8 over 4, and that is equals to 2. So the correct option to this question is B, which is 2. On to the next question. We are told to find the variance of this ungrouped data. So for the variance of an ungrouped data, we know that the variance is simply the summation of x minus x bar squared over the total number. So first, to find the mean, which is x bar, we know that our mean is going to be equal to what? Summation of x over n. So we sum all this together and divide it by the total number. That becomes 2x plus 2x minus 1 plus 2x plus 1 over how many numbers do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 numbers in the distribution. And do not be intimidated because you see x here. It's still the same procedure you follow. So 2x plus 2x plus 2x gives us 6x, and minus x plus x gives us 0. So that cancels out, divided by 3. So 6x divided by 3 gives me what? 2x. So my mean is 2x. So now I can proceed. So this is my values of x, and here we represent my x minus my x bar, and here will be the modulus or the absolute value of my x minus my x bar. So my x values include what? 2x, 2x minus 1 and 2x plus 1. So my x minus x bar for the first one will just be what? 2x. My x bar is what? 2x. So 2x minus 2x gives me 0. For the second one to be 2x minus 1, then minus 2x. This minus 2x minus 2x cancel out. I'm left with minus 1. And finally, I have 2x plus 1 minus 2x. And that is equals to 2x minus 2x gives me 1. So I have what? 1. So sorry, this is supposed to be squared. So now I just find the square of these values I have over here. So 0 squared gives me 0. Minus 1 squared gives me 1. And 1 squared gives me 1. And when I sum all this together, I get what? I get 2. So my variance will be equal to the summation of my x minus x bar squared. I've got the sum of everything to be equal to 2. So that will be 2. And the total number in my distribution is just 1, 2, 3 numbers. So my n is 3. So my variance is 2 over 3. and that makes A the correct option. So in this next question now, we are told to calculate the standard deviation of 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. So again, we know that the standard deviation is the square root of our variance. So the standard deviation for an ungrouped data like we have here is given as the square root of summation of x minus x bar squared over n. So we have to find the value of our x bar. So our x bar, which is the mean, is pretty straightforward. We sum all this and divide it by the total number, which is summation x over n, and that gives us 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 divided by 5, because we have 5 numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that gives us 15 over 5, and that is equals to 3. So the mean of this distribution is 3. So I can find my x now and evaluate my x minus my x bar, and I can find my x minus x bar squared. So for the values of x, I have 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. So for my x minus x bar, so the first one becomes 5 minus 3, my mean is 3, and that gives me 2. Second one becomes 5 minus 3, 4 minus 3, and that gives me 1. 3 minus 3, that gives me 0. Then this becomes 2 minus my mean, which is 3, gives me minus 1. And 1 minus 3, which gives me minus 2. Now when I square all this, 2 squared gives me 4, 1 squared gives me 1, 0 squared gives me 0, minus 1 squared gives me 1, and 4 squared gives me 4. When I sum all this together, 4 plus 1 plus 1 plus 4 gives me 10. So know that now my standard deviation will be equals to the square root, the summation of my x minus x bar squared are found to be 10. So square root of 10 over, and the total numbers that I have here, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So that will be the square root of 10 divided by 5 is 2. So the standard deviation is the square root of 2, and that makes B the correct answer. In this example, we are told that if the variance of 3 plus x, 6, we have 3 plus x, we have 6, we have 4, we have x, and we have 7 minus x. We are told that what the variance is 4 and the mean is 5. Told that the mean, or x bar, which is the mean, is 5. We are told to find the standard deviation. So I should mention that this is a trick question. And why is it a trick question? Because the values I have seen x here might confuse you, and you might try to start figuring out what the value of x based on the mean that you are given before you now try to solve it. But this will be a total waste of time. You will still arrive at the same answer, but this will be a total waste of time. But if you truly understand, and this question is given to test your understanding, you will know that the standard deviation, as I've iterated many times, is what? The square root of the variance. So nothing concerns you with trying to figure out what the values of x are. Since you are given the variance, you can easily find the standard deviation. I was told that if the variance is 4, so the standard deviation will just be the square root of 4, and our standard deviation is 2. So you can see that this question is really easy. But if you don't understand, you might try to start figuring out the value of x, and that will be a total waste of time. So that is why it's very important for you to understand these things. So the correct option in this case is option D, which is 2. So let's look at our last question, and as you can see here, we have a group data in which we are asked to find the standard deviation of the distribution. So we know that the formula for finding the standard deviation for a group data is given as what? The square root of summation f into bracket x minus x bar squared over summation of f. So we draw out our table. So we have our class interval here, class interval, and we have just 3 classes, 3 to 5, 6 to 8, and 9 to 11. We can easily find the value of x, which will be our midpoint. And if you recall, the way we calculate our midpoint is by adding the lower class and the upper class and dividing by 2. So 3 plus 5 is 8 divided by 2, I get 4. 8 plus 6 is 14 divided by 2, I get 7, and 9 plus 11 is 20 divided by 2, I get 10. So now I've been given the values of my frequencies as what? 2, 2, and 2. So I know that the sum of my frequencies in this case is what? Is 6. So the next thing is to find the product of f and x so I can calculate the mean. So 4 times 2 gives me 8, 7 times 2 gives me 14, and 10 times 2 gives me 20. When I sum this together, I get what? I get 42. So if you recall, our mean x bar is given as, for a group data, summation fx over summation of f, and our summation of fx are found to be what? 42, and our summation of f is 6. So our mean is what? 7. So now I can easily evaluate x minus x bar. So my x here is 4, so I have 4 minus 7, and that gives me minus 3. Here I have 7 minus 7, which gives me 0, and I have 10 minus 7, which gives me 3. So the next step is to find the square. So I have x minus x bar squared. So minus 3 squared gives me 9, 0 squared gives me 0, and 3 squared gives me 9. So finally, I need to multiply it by the frequencies. So I multiply the frequencies by x minus x bar squared. So what is 2 times 9? I get 18. 2 times 0, I get 0. And 2 times 9, I get 18. So now I can find the sum. So 18 plus 18 gives me 36. So as we've written before, our standard deviation is given as the square root of summation f into bracket x minus x bar squared over summation of f. So what will that become? That will become the square root of, what is the sum of f times x minus x bar squared? We got that to be 36. So 36, and the sum of our frequencies is 6. I know that 36 divided by 6 is what? 6. So the standard deviation is equal to the square root of 6. And what option corresponds to that? Option C. So we see again how to apply the formula for calculating the standard deviation of group data. So the only difference is that we first have to calculate the midpoint of the class interval by summing the lower class limit by the upper class limit and divide by 2. Then we'll proceed as usual to apply the formula. So that pretty much sums up our discussion on the measures of dispersion. So I will urge you now to go through the exercises and try to tackle the questions. And also you should go through your past questions to look for additional questions relating to the measures of dispersions to see if you'll be able to tackle them. And if you have any difficulty, feel free to make use of the forum to connect with other students and also to connect with me, because I'll be there from time to time to try to look for questions in which I can help. So that'll be all for now. Bye.